Today is Friday, the 26th day of June, and we have had the highest number of positive cases, the highest number of states showing rising positive cases, the highest number of hospitalizations, and the highest death count in the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. And so it's interesting that on this day, the United States President's coronavirus task force has its first public outing report since April, and you would expect they would come clean about what's going on, but that didn't happen. Instead, we heard propaganda and lies. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about that so that nobody will have an excuse for saying, this is why I believe that the President of the United States and the administration is doing a good job. Vice President Pence said, we're successes, we're flattening the curve, we're doing a good job. All three of those statements were untrue. Let me correct it. All three of those statements were false. They were lies. They were knowing lies. And the big lie is that we're seeing a rising number of cases because of more testing, and that lie is being matched with a lie that, well, we're not seeing a rise in states where there are sparse populations, states like Montana and rural parts of Texas. Let me explain to you why that's not true. Let me take this item. This item I'm holding above my head. If you drop it, if you let my hand go, it goes down, whether you are in Montana, in a rural area, or you are in Massachusetts at the heart of Boston. It goes down not because of whether you're a politician. It goes down not because of whether you're a Democrat or Republican. It goes down not because whether you like President Trump or not. It goes down for one reason. It's called physics, science. 100 times out of 100, it goes down. It never goes up. It never goes up in a rural area. It never goes up for the Republicans. It never goes up if you like one party or another. It goes down because science operates by scientific laws. It's called the scientific method. We learned it in elementary school. Let me give you another example. When you get in your vehicle, you start your engine. If you start driving, if you drive very far and you have not fastened your seatbelt, there is an alarm goes off in your vehicle, whether you're in Boston or whether you're in Birmingham or whether you're in Billings or whether you're in Buffalo. Alarm goes off because people need to wear seatbelts, not because they're politics, but because of the law of physics. If you have a sudden stop, your body moves forward. And the lap belt and the shoulder harness are connected to prevent you from going into the steering wheel or going into the windshield. That goes on because of science. And so the notion that there is a rise in coronavirus infections, there's a rise in positive rates, there's a rise in hospitalizations, there's a rise in death based upon the location of where people are or whether or not they're doing certain political things is a lie. It is as we say, a bald-faced lie. It's a lie whether Donald Trump says so. It's a lie whether Michael Pence says so. It's a lie whether I say so. Because it defies science. It defies truth. Mass social distancing, hygiene are the three factors that we are told by the scientists that will help flatten the curve. And we have seen how that scientific process has operated in Europe. Italy at one time had the highest infection rate. Now Italy is at near the lowest. And the United States, where we're not doing the masking, we're not doing the social distancing, we're not doing the stuff that the scientists, our own scientists are telling us, leads the world in being sickest and dying most and having the worst hospitalizations. So we need to tell the politicians, whether it's my governor, Asa Hutchinson in Arkansas, or the governor of Texas, or the governor of Arizona, or the governor of Florida, or governor of wherever they are, we need to tell the politicians, science does not care about how much you want to make money. The infection, the virus does not care. The laws of science are inconsiderate of whether or not a business is going broke or is doing well, because if people are filling up the business and buying all the products and they're violating the social distancing and they are violating the masking, then they're going to get sick, and that is going to spread this infection, that's going to spread this pandemic, and that is not good for business. People cannot have confidence in doing business where they cannot have confidence they're safe. Let me conclude on this note. We are being lied to, my fellow Americans, my fellow Arkansans. We are being lied to. This is not about whether or not your prayer life is right. If you pray all day and you have the biggest religious symbol on your body in your house as possible, the laws of physics still work. I use this example when I do jury orientation with jurors. Test the credibility of witnesses, every witness, based upon certain criteria, certain standards. And one of the criteria is whether or not what they are saying is reasonable. And I tell jurors, you are not required to set aside your common knowledge in the ordinary affairs of life. You know, in the ordinary affairs of life, if you stand on the top of a roof and step off that roof into space, in the ordinary affairs of life, you know you're going down, and you're going down every time. And so if somebody tells you that they are a libertarian or a Republican or a Democrat or a Baptist or a Catholic or a Church of Christ or Episcopalian or a Presbyterian or a Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, if they tell you they stepped off of the top of a building and went up, you would say that person is lying to you. Not because you don't like their politics or their religion, but because you know from your common experience that what they are saying is not, cannot, and will never be the truth. My friends, what we are hearing is not truth. We're hearing propaganda. And the propaganda we're hearing is killing people. It is making people sick. It is putting people in the hospital. That is wrong.